Alright, you ready to talk about some shit?
Yes! Yes!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Talking Shit, a podcast where we talk some shit.
It is only a podcast.
Are you sure it's only a podcast?
Nothing else.
I'm worried this is going to turn into more, and, you know, I'm going to... On my gravestone, it's going to say, Talking Shit, an important thing.
My name's Joe.
Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that you're so sure, because I think my name's Dan.
It is. Don't worry.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay, and I think we're talking about something today, aren't we?
Yeah, we are talking about Spider-Man 2.
Well, okay, alright. Spider-Man 2, so Peter Parker is played by Tobey Maguire, who everyone hates because he's a dick.
Is that the one that Pizza Time is in?
Pizza Time. Yeah. Joe's Pizza. Joe, what is...
So we're actually talking about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Are you sure?
Yeah, sorry.
Well, that's kind of disappointing. I wanted to talk about Pizza Time.
Pizza Time, baby.
Pizza Time! Yeah, no, alright. We're talking about Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, which is amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Although not as amazing as I once was led on to believe by the hype.
We'll get it. Yeah, fuck it. We'll just talk about it now, yeah. So, I have been talking this film up for ages to Joe, and not only me, but every video on the internet has been screaming at you saying this is amazing, and you've been waiting to see it, and then I saw it came on Netflix this week, and so I said, hey, we'll do that, and we'll talk about it on the podcast, because I love it, and I've got a lot to say, and what happened?
Well, it didn't live up to the hype. I'm by no means saying it's bad. It's very good.
Yes.
I would christen it amazing in my church.
Yep.
But yeah, hasn't it been out for like 2 years now or something?
It has been out for 2 years.
So yeah. 2 years of built up.
It's
just hearing it's
you've basically been hearing that it's like the best. It's like the Messiah. It's like as if it was going to christen you in its church. You know.
But I don't really have much bad to say about it. That's the thing.
It
doesn't live up to.
I mean, this isn't the greatest movie ever made, and I'm sure that's what people for some reason have made you believe. But it's my favorite animated film of all time. I'll say that much.
Yeah, I mean, I'd guess where people are blown away, like most easily, is the visuals.
Yeah,
and how it all fits together with like the soundtrack as well.
That's this film's biggest selling point is the visuals. We'll get into it, but the grueling nature of making this film, it really pays off. It looks incredible.
Yeah, I feel like that's one of the easiest ways to just hook people in. That's get them to say, "Oh, good movie, man." Good movie.
And to win an Oscar.
Yeah.
You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to jump into this Oscar story straight away. I was going to save this for later. I think I've told you about this before, haven't I? About the Oscars? About this film?
I don't know, man.
Well, either way, I'll tell you again, and I'll tell everyone. So basically, this is one of my favourite facts about this film. I don't know everything it was going up against for the Oscars, but I know that Spider-Verse was going up against Wreck-It Ralph 2. Wreck Some More Things, whatever it's called.
Wreck-A-Palooza.
Yeah, Wreck-It Palooza. And basically, because, it's a Disney film, Disney just assumed... they're not going to give a superhero movie a Oscar, you know what I mean? So they just assumed they were going to win Best Animated Feature. So Wreck-It Ralph 2 was coming out on Blu-ray and DVD around the same time. So they had like a physical like stamp on it, it looks like a sticker, but it's actually a part of the box art.
Yeah.
That said like winner of Best Animated Feature.
Oh wow.
At the Oscars.
Oh my god.
Yeah, no, this is 100% true. I'm not bullshitting you. And they had to recall all of those all of the boxes the box art, sorry, because Spider-Verse won instead. It was one of those times where one of the only times the Oscars have ever made me happy. Like I remember seeing it was nominated, and I was like, "There's no way they're gonna give that a fucking Oscar." Like it's amazing, but the Oscars are dumb. That it's old, stupid white men that don't know anything. But
Oscars
apparently
were right.
They were right for once.
Yeah.
Very. Yeah.
And it's okay to clown on Disney because
it's
Disney.
Yeah, do you think they even noticed that out of their profit margin? No.
Yeah, exactly.
What's a bit of plastic to them or whatever box arts are made out of?
Who buys DVDs these days anyway?
And especially the kinds of people that are buying Wreck-It Ralph 2, Wreck-It Palooza More or whatever on
Yeah.
on DVD. They're not the kind of people that will actually know if it won best or what best animated feature even is, because it's like 5-year-olds.
Yeah.
So, some 5-year-olds just like, no, it didn't win. Take it back.
Oh, no.
Just some mom on the phone to Disney. You disappointed my son, and Disney's like, oh no. Fuck. Disney, man. That being said, The Mandalorian's amazing. We'll talk about it in like a month or so when it's done. But yeah, so yeah, I guess we should maybe just jump straight into Spider-Verse talks then. I was
Trivia?
no, we'll get to that. I'm just gonna set the scene a little bit. Don't worry, trivia's coming. Don't you worry. We
Baby.
will get into the trivia. It's like I always say, Joe, every day, every morning when I wake up. If there's one guaranteed thing about talking shit, it's that from episode 3 onwards, there's trivia. Episode 1 and 2.
Where we started.
Exactly. Episode 1 and 2 don't count. As I say every morning when I go to bed. Let's move on. So basically, I was lucky enough to see this film in cinemas, and by lucky enough, I just mean that Joe wasn't lucky enough. It's not hard to go. I mean, it's hard to go to the cinema nowadays, but it's not really that hard to normally go to a cinema. But I think that's probably why I have such a high opinion as like the internet does, because seeing this film on a huge screen with massive surround sound booming, it's something else, man. It's incredible. Like, I still get goosebumps just at the visuals of this film, seeing it on my small ass PC monitor, or even just my regular kind of size TV. But I mean, there's nothing like seeing it in the cinema. It's amazing, and you weren't able to see it, were you?
No, but I do somewhat agree with your thoughts, because the first time I saw it with you and Chris,
Yes.
it was just on my monitor, 1080p monitor, and then I watched it again on my nice big TV,
Brag.
bigger
4K
bigger,
question mark.
4K.
Oh,
Yes. But
marry me.
and yeah, it was much better. I enjoyed it much more.
Yeah, and that was a pretty quick turn. Like, didn't you watch it like the next day or something?
Yeah, I watched it the next day.
So I mean, there's something in it that you were that inspired to see it again very quickly.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. I think I'm always in a different mindset when I watch things alone versus.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's like as well. It's like you were saying in the first episode of this. Watching films with friends is it's automatically a good time because you're just dicking around and joking. But obviously, it does kind of clap different, as the kids would say. Especially when it's such an amazing film with like really heavy themes and like a lot of stuff to actually delve into and think about.
Yeah.
I think it definitely benefits from solo viewings, because I've seen this film maybe like 3 or 4 times or something, and 2 times with people, 2 times alone, and yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah, you only get that from good movies though. If you watch a bad movie by yourself, then
You just
I
want to
don't
kill
know what you're
yourself.
doing. Yeah.
Unless it's so bad that it's hilarious, like The Room or something. Like, I've seen The Room. I think Oh mate, I think I've only seen The Room by myself, which is kind of sad, but also it's very funny, even just by myself. I have a good time laughing at how fucking stupid it is. So, Spider-Verse is written by some of my favourite people working today, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, who, Joe, do you know who they are?
No.
They wrote 21 Jump Street.
My name's Jeff.
They wrote 22 Jump Street.
My name's Jeff.
They wrote the Lego Movie.
My name not Jeff.
They wrote the Lego Movie 2.
Yes.
They wrote Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs.
I like all of these films.
They wrote Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs 2.
Oh.
My Name is Meatball. They wrote the Lego Ninjago Movie.
Yes. Okay.
They wrote the Lego Batman Movie.
Oh.
And of course,
the Lego Batman movie is actually.
I haven't seen it. I've only heard amazing things.
I find it funny, man.
No, that's what I've heard. That it's genuinely funny.
Yeah, like it's dumb funny, but.
Oh yeah.
I'm not going to say I'm the most mature person, but I'm also not a 10-year-old dribbling from the mouth.
Joe, I don't know what you're talking about. You're very mature.
I can't actually be quite mature.
I've never heard you say poopy stinky
But-
literally every single day
But it's
since
just more
lockdown
fun.
started.
It's just more fun to poopy stinky, man. Anyway,
That's the first for the podcast. Yeah, there's plenty more to come. And of course, they wrote Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. I am so lazy that I didn't bother to look which ones they directed as well, but I'm assuming... Isn't it all of them apart from Spider-Verse? Spider-Verse was directed by other people. I don't care, because the writing is really where this film shines. They directed 21 Jump Street, right?
I don't know.
Okay. They also did...
I have no idea.
What do you think I am? The knowledge man? I'm poopy
I just
stinky.
watch.
And
I
then
don't
watch
think
again the next day.
I think I've watched, yeah. I have watched 21 Jump Street.
Well, I was hoping you'd have something to say about it, because I haven't seen either of the 21 or 22 Jump Street movies.
Doesn't Fat Man make an appearance?
Whoa,
Yeah.
he'd
Jonah
lost
Hill.
some weight. He wasn't Moneyball size. You know, Moneyball size is probably the closest Jonah Hill's come to looking like Wilson Fisk in Spider-Verse.
No. Box man. Le box.
Le box. Did you know that we're jumping all over the place, I apologize, but did you know that the guy who voices Wilson Fisk, what's his actual supervillain name?
Sabretooth.
No. As in Wilson Fisk, what's his name?
Oh,
Kingpin?
Kingpin, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, he's voiced by the guy who does... he's voiced by the guy who does Sabretooth in X-Men Origins Wolverine, the best X-Men film.
Yes.
I think
He
the
needs to
best
cut his
decision they ever
nails.
made was by making those claws CG instead of practical. Just looks so real.
Really?
No, I'm joking! My God, who do you think
this,
I am?
This is X-Men we're on about.
Yeah.
I'm confused.
Have you seen X-Men Origins Wolverine?
Yes.
You know the claws, his claws, they're like CG in that film. Every other film they've
Oh,
got
that's what I was
practical
saying.
things.
They're actually CG.
Yeah.
That's retarded.
Yeah, how could you not tell? They look fucking awful.
I don't remember, but that's so dumb.
To be honest, yeah, I'm surprised nobody can remember anything about that film.
I remember the elevator bit.
There's a lift
Elevator.
scene?
Yeah.
Oh, don't they say like, Ryan Reynolds, you talk so much. God, what if somebody sewed your mouth shut?
Oh yeah, and then
then they all wink at the camera.
yeah, and they're on the like nuclear power thing, aren't they?
Oh yeah,
that the
some
same
guy
film?
does a big flip over a gate or whatever, and
Or
it's really
teleports
clearly
and
wire
yeah.
works.
Yeah. Jesus.
So anyway, Spider-Verse. All right, fucking hell. Yeah, it's written by them. They're amazing writers, very funny guys, but as this film proves, they can also do some really cool and interesting themes and send out some positive vibes and positive messages for the kids.
And that's all you want.
That is all I want in a film. So,
Yeah, that's all I want.
you know what it's time for?
What is it time for?
It's not... okay, it's time for trivia!
The audience screams. The
I was
audience applauds.
I was about to say, can you get excited for me? But that's good enough.
I am clapping.
So here's the first bit of trivia I got for you. I said, by the way, folks at home, I don't tell Joe the trivia before this, so he gets live reactions. It's just like a reaction channel on YouTube. Kind of nothing, but you know, it's a bit more exciting. Get excited!
Oh my god!
Alright, so basically, if you pause the film anytime a train goes by, Stan Lee is in almost every single train in the film.
Oh,
Because
that's more than one cameo.
That is-
breaking the law.
no,
Oh, I thought
not necessarily. I mean, he was dead at this point, so you know,
can't really.
he can't
object.
really. You can't sue someone if you're dead.
True.
One of and also a lot of the next trivia.
Number 2.
The guys who did the animation, they really wanted to imitate the imperfections of like the offset printing technique, which is obviously how comic books are printed, or were printed, should I
I
say?
mean the dots.
Yeah, the dots and like how like it's not like frames aren't exactly like completely straight, a little bit of a tilt,
Right.
stuff like that. which is really cool. Like, there's a good point somebody made where it's like, if you pause Spider-Verse at any point, it literally is a comic book frame. Like, I don't think there's a single shot in this film that just doesn't look like a comic book, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm doing that right now.
Are you actually flicking through it?
Yeah. Everything looks comic book-y.
Looks amazing. Completing the animation from the film required up to 180 animators. 180! This is the largest crew, yeah, boy, ever used by Sony Pictures Animation. That's right, they use more people on this film than the Emoji Movie. I don't know how, because Emoji Movie is just as good, if not better. I'm joking. You know the famous bagel joke from the film?
Famous, yes.
I mean, famous by me, because I won't stop talking about it anytime I watch this film with anyone. Basically, for anyone who hasn't seen the film, there's a bit where there's bad guys chasing the Spider-Men, and they throw a bagel at one guy, and in the background, when it hits him, it goes, bagel! And a little line comes up saying bagel. That was a joke... that was a joke pitched by somebody behind the scenes. I don't know who. They were just joking about it, like, imagine if it said bagel, and the animator thought they were being serious, so they put it in, and it ended up staying in the film because it was very funny. We all liked it.
Everyone liked that.
Everyone liked that. Phil Lord and Chris Miller, the two writing boys. They said that the goal of this film was to inspire young people to become heroes, inspire grown-ups to help them do it, and remind us all that you don't need to be bitten by a radioactive spider to do your part. You are powerful, and we are counting on you.
Anyone can wear the mask.
Anyone can wear the mask. Yeah. I'm sure we will get into this at the end of spoiler talks, but the message of this film is cool and positive, and yes, it's a bit cringe, but guys, COVID's going on, so fuck you, we want to be positive.
Yo, being positive isn't cringe.
Excuse me. Being cringe is being negative.
Yeah, yikes.
Give your nan a hug.
Cringe is a bit of an overused word.
That's cringe, bro. What?
Fuck. You got me. Hey,
it is like
you're being kind of cringe now, bro.
Oh. It was Peter Ramsey's idea to hold off on the visual comic book language, like, you know, the word bubbles and the panels.
Yeah.
Until Miles is bitten by the spider, which I think it's a little detail that until I read this I didn't really even think about. But yeah, the film does kind of completely change. Like, obviously the whole time it looks like a comic book.
Yeah.
But like the word bubbles especially don't pop up until he's like freaking out in his head. And it's just, I think it's just really cool, like that they held off on that, because it gives more of a, you know, it really kind of defines the difference between non-Spider-Man Miles and Spider-Man Miles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I didn't really notice that specifically, but I think I did notice that they definitely didn't go overboard on that whole thing, because it could have gotten really
it could have been way
very quickly.
They could have relied on it way too much and just. Because obviously in a comic book, that's how you do exposition, and that's why superhero films, like, that's why a lot of them struggle to, kind of capture the same essence without feeling too, like, having scenes be expository dumps. Yeah. But this film, has an excuse to do it. But I like that it didn't really do it for exposition. It did it a lot for comedy. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, imagine that, using the bubbles and that for exposition with with Miles breaking the fourth wall at the same time.
Oh yeah. It could have really. It was handled really well. Yeah.
Yeah. It just becomes stale very quickly if that did happen.
Yes. But it didn't, thank God. Next trivia. To get rid of motion blur in the film was mostly animated in at 12 frames a second rather than the usual 24. So normal film and TV is shot at 24 frames a second, which is why when you get a 60 frames per second TV and you watch normal TV shows, it looks like it's kind of fast forwarded, because it's not meant to be in 60 frames, and it's weird, and I don't know why TVs do it, but hey. So basically, because if you do this style of a mixture of hand drawn and computer generated like imagery and all this shit, If you put that all together and try to make it look like a comic book and put it in 24 frames a second, you would get motion blurring, and it it would start looking too, not real, but it would start looking too computer generated, you know what I mean, rather than hand drawn, which is what they're going for.
So it's 12 frames per second, you said?
Mostly, there are different parts of it, because one of the key scenes that I told you about is when Peter B. Parker is teaching Miles how to swing.
Yeah.
And there's a big thing in that where he's very, he's trained. He knows how to swing, so he's swinging at 24 frames a second, and Miles is moving at 12 because he doesn't know, but how to swing. And then as Peter teaches him and he starts moving at the same pace as him, Miles turns to 24 frames a second as well. So it's like even the frame rate of the character's movement plays into the character growth. It's really something special, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I guess that would make it easier for the animators as well, having a lower frame per second.
Yeah, you have to draw less. Yeah, those 180 animators had to draw slightly less. This is a bit of trivia that I actually put in because I couldn't see it anywhere, but I noticed it when we were watching. When Miles goes to his uncle's apartment for the first time, the TV in the background is that episode of Community where Donald Glover is in the Spider-Man outfit, which was a jab at how he almost was cast as Miles Morales in The Amazing Spider-Man, and then they went a different direction. Which I think is really cool that they even bothered. It's just in the background, you wouldn't even see it if you weren't paying attention, you know what I mean?
Yeah, smallest thing.
Yeah, it's really cool. It just flashes out the world. The final thing, this is actually news to me. So when Peter B. Parker comes into Miles' universe, you know how he lands in Times Square and he's looking around like, what the hell?
Yep.
There's a billboard on one of the electronic billboards in Times Square is showing a poster for From Dusk Till Dawn, which apparently is
I saw that.
I didn't see that. Yeah, it was the sequel that there was going to be to Shaun of the Dead. So apparently, this is like a thing of in Miles's dimension that sequel was made. That's so cool. It's just such a little thing that's really cool.
Yeah, I actually was pausing and unpausing the film during that, and I also saw a film called Hold Your Horses.
Yes, which is
it was Seth Rogen on a horse.
Yeah.
With the slogan "Riding high in the saddle."
So there's the actual film that was made is titled something slightly different or something. I think I saw something about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really just all these little things are really cool. So
Easter eggs, if you will.
Easter eggs, if you will. So that's trivia. I know you all loved it, and I know everything after trivia will be a disappointment because it's no longer trivia. But I'm sorry, guys. I know, I'm sorry, but we must move on to our non-spoiler thoughts. So Joe.
Hello.
With no spoilers, what happens in this movie?
Miles Morales.
He is a boy.
A boy.
Yes.
Well, I mean, that's not really a spoiler, is it?
What, that he's a boy?
No, that he gets bit.
Oh yeah, we know he becomes Spider-Man.
Okay. He gets bit. He turns into Spider-Man. He doesn't know what's going on. Then he gets some help from some of the boys.
And the girls.
Yeah. And
right, you're shit at this. So, Miles Morales is a boy who lives in Brooklyn. His dad is a police officer. His mom is a nurse, and he goes to a school in the hood, and he's very hip. He does graffiti, amazing graffiti. He's a really cool artist, and he's an all-round liked guy. And then he wins some bingo smart quiz or whatever. It's very weird.
Bingo, yeah. That's how you get into Cambridge and Oxford, ladies and gents. You win a round of bingo.
You win a round of Smarty Bingo. So anyway, he ends up going to this school for smart boys, and he doesn't really fit in. So he tries to run away from it, and in running away from it, he gets bitten by the radioactive spider that also bit the Spider-Man that's already in his universe, and then the universes all collide thanks to a particle accelerator thing that the bad guy Kingpin is trying to use for reasons that we can't get into because non-spoilers. And this leads to a bunch of spider people from different universes all training Miles how to become Spider-Man, and he must learn from them, but also learn how to be Spider-Man in his own way, and he learns that his individuality is more important than being like everyone else. And in the end, will it save the day? ? Probably. Was that good? That's probably okay.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up. Wow. Well, I've never heard Joe so elated. So I mean, yeah, it must have been good. So yeah, what did you think? Non-spoilers. I mean, we've already said we love it.
Non-spoilers. Yeah. Good soundtrack. Good core message. Mm-hmm. Good animation.
Very good animation.
Good graphics. And good ending.
Yeah, it's a really cool ending.
No, you know that it's good.
Yeah, people really wanted to go into this. Go, damn it! I wanted to think it could have been bad. Now I gotta put spoilers from the very start because we said it was good. So yeah, I think this film's amazing. I think it's very what's the word I'm looking for? It's very accessible for both kids and adults. It's like an Adventure Time or a Star Wars Clone Wars. Like, it does a really good job of being
Have you watched Adventure Time?
Have I seen it?
Yeah.
I'm not a big watcher, but I've seen enough to know that it's really cool. I do kind of wish that I will get around to watching more eventually, but
I am suspicious.
Why, do you think I've never seen an episode? Do you think I'm a big fat liar?
That's what I thought you would do.
I've seen an episode.
Okay.
I've seen like 3 episodes. I've seen 3 episodes and they were pretty okay.
Okay.
Jake is a boy and he has a dog.
Yes.
There's a talking Game Boy. Princess Bubblegum. Right. Now that I've finished being off trial, I just think like those shows, it does a really good job of like, it's adult enough that, you know, you can enjoy it as, well, an adult, and like you can follow along to some of the more adult themes and stuff, but it's not so overly like that kids who are dumb and stupid can't have a really good time and get a really fun, visually engaging superhero film out of it. But also, even the message for the kids, like the message of the film overall is just, you know, it's a really positive message for both adults and kids that, you know, we can both understand and follow along, and it's just very accessible. Anything else you want to say non-spoilers, or are we going to jump straight into spoilers?
Jump.
Wow, we're officially jumping. Hang on. Are you ready for a really cool transition? Oh, I shouldn't talk myself up. Okay, cool. Here we go. So we're jumping. Spoilers. 3, 2, 1. Just like Miles jumped between 2 buildings. Hey,
when did you do
that? When, you know, what's up, danger?
In the best scene of the film.
What's up, danger? Yeah, man. Because remember earlier in the film, he's like, oh, I got to be Spider-Man and jump off of a tall thing because that's what he did in a comic book.
Yes, and then he went up the big building, and then he came down the big building, then he went up a smaller one.
Funny. Yeah, I mean, it is funny, but yeah. So spoilers. Wilson Fisk is a big old box, isn't he?
Yes.
He's a big old box.
Pretty much any time he's speaking by himself, and the camera's solely on him, his whole body takes up the entire screen because of his immensity.
That would have been the easiest thing to animate, just a black suit take up the whole screen
with a white circle.
He's so huge. But it's a stylized world, so it works. You know, it's funny, but it works. He's
overtraining shoulders for sure, because his shoulders
go
above his head.
Oh yeah, they do.
It's like this is why we're saying he's a box, because he is just a cuboid and his face is in the middle.
Yeah, he's got like a big old hunchback as well, doesn't he?
Yeah,
but the hunch doesn't stick out. Maybe that's just purely shoulder.
Yeah.
Maybe his shoulders are both so big that they branched out to the top of his back.
Yeah. That's how he kills
Spider-Man, the original Spider-Man,
and then nearly kills Miles with his almighty ape. His ape swing.
His almighty ape punches.
Yeah,
so yeah, let's
finisher.
Yeah, let's talk about that. So, pretty early on in this film, Spider-Man dies. We start the film.
Over.
we start the film with everybody. The curtains close on the screening. Somebody walks in and goes, "Well, folks, it's done. Bye. Go home." Like kids are crying and they're like, "Shut up!" Sorry, I busted out my Harvey Dent impression. Shut up!
Shut up!
Shut up!
No, you shut up!
if there were, Two-Face, so he's got he's talking to one side of his face and the other, but shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! Oh, that's gonna be fun to edit. So yeah, that's what I meant. One of the things of balancing tone and shit. It's got kiddie themes and kiddie jokes in it, and look at the Spider-Man, yeah. But Spider-Man dies at the start of the film. That's what sets things going. It doesn't
Parker
treat
from Miles's universe.
It's almost like the intro's it's like, hey, fun Spider-Man, I've been Spider-Man for a while, and Miles Morales, he's a quirky kid and he's struggling at school, yay, haha, he's bitten by the spider, whoa, what's going on, he's outside the building, sticking to the side of the building, this is really fun and cool, and then bang! Ape Man kills Spider-Man,
yes.
And suddenly they're just slapping kids in the audience. This ain't your regular Spider-Man, pussy.
Yeah, and the Peter Parker from the Miles's universe world is painted to be this pretty much the perfect Spider-Man. He's in his prime. He isn't.
Him and MJ are happily married.
Yeah, he's perfect Spider-Man.
Perfect Spider Boy. He's saving the day.
Expectations are thrust upon Miles. Yeah,
because there's a big thing about how he constantly mentions at the start, and also when Miles finds him and he's really hurt, there's this line of I always get back up, and then Miles physically watches him. He doesn't get back up. He dies. Yeah. And that plays into the end of the film when Miles is hit by Fisk, and he just is. He has no willpower to get back up until his dad. He's shouting. His dad doesn't know he's Spider-Man, but he's just in the same building. He's shouting, and he's like, "Get up, Spider-Man, get up!" And it's this really cool moment where he gets back up, and it's full circle. Simple storytelling, but it works.
Yeah, I mean, on about expectations. If I were to do any kind of serious analysis on this film, then I would probably use expectations a lot, and
that would be on the thumbnail.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, because you made a lot of notes, didn't you?
Yeah, on my second viewing, I just made some notes.
Yeah. Sorry, I'll let you talk. Yeah, because that's interesting. I didn't even think about that.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's kind of obvious to say, but in Miles's art piece that he spray paints, the word is expectations, with him in the middle of it. And
it's like a silhouette, isn't it?
Yeah, that's his art piece, and I mean, I think Miles is thrust these expectations onto himself by Spider-Man, who died, his dad, and then also the Spider-Men who come, and woman who come from the different universes, and pretty much I think that's when the film completely turns, though, when I don't know if we're jumping a bit ahead.
Just jump about, it's fine.
Yeah, but when
What's Up Danger?
Miles, kind of before that, when Miles is tied up in his chair, in his flat, and his dad comes round.
His dad knows he's there because there's a shadow under the door.
Yeah, but he can't speak because
he can't speak or say anything because he's tied up.
Yeah. And his dad comes to him. Miles says nothing, but his dad kind of has this bit of a monologue saying he kind of forgives Miles in a way and doesn't want to pressure him to do all this, be good at school, and he wants him to be happy. Yeah,
he's sorry that he pushed all these expectations onto him, and
he's removing his expectations from Miles, and then I feel like that's probably
that's the motivation he needs to finally become Spider-Man.
Yeah, and live up to the expectations.
Yeah.
put onto him by the Spider Gang.
You know, that is better than I could have ever put that. Yeah, that's really made me kind of, I probably would have rambled a lot more and eventually got around to the point. But no, you're right, because at the start of the film, there's this big thing of, like, his dad's giving him a lift to work in the back of a station wagon. Yeah. Station wagon? What the fuck am I talking about? In the back of a police car. I think I was thinking paddy wagon, because that's what they call them in America. But yeah, so he's giving him a lift in the back of the paddy wagon. And Miles is trying to say, like, I don't fit in with this smart crowd. Like, I don't feel like I belong here. What was wrong with me being me at the school where I got on with everybody, with my people, as he says. And he's saying, like, no, like, you did well on tests. You're smart. That means you need to be with the smart people. Like, And Miles is saying, but I just, like, this is ridiculous. Like, don't I have a choice? And his dad shouts and like, no, you don't have a choice. And it's like this big thing of like, yeah, you're right. That's kind of the start of like, you don't have a choice. You're going to this school. I expect you to do well. And then he's struggling in school. And then the teacher, he tries to drop out. And the teacher's like, I'm going to assign you a personal essay. And the essay is called Great Expectations. She's like, what do you want to be? What kind of person do you want to be? And that kind of sets into motion, the theme of the film. And then after Miles hits rock bottom, after his uncle dies, because not necessarily just because he wasn't powerful as Spider-Man, but mainly because he wasn't himself enough to, and he wasn't confident enough in himself to, try and actually reach out and save his uncle. And like, he was like isolating himself from everyone because he's failing school. He doesn't want to talk to his parents because of the expectations. Yeah. And then it's like you say with the whole thing with the when he's tied up and he's giving him the monologue. That's like the final moment where he realizes that his parents are behind him and they're like, he says, whatever you do, you'll be great. And that's when he finally decides to not be like any of the other Spider people who are trying to tell him how to be, not be like how the school wants him to be, and not be how his parents wants him to be. He finally decides, I'm going to be me. He spray paints one of the Spider-Man suits, and we have the best scene in the entire film, the "What's up, danger?" moment, where he finally becomes Spider-Man. Like, he becomes Miles Morales, like Spider-Man.
Yeah, I think everything after when he bursts out of the chair, and like that, and then up until and during that whole "What's up, danger?"
Scene, up, danger?
Is like, that's just it's just the ultimate high of the.
It's perfect,
film.
That was the very first shot we ever saw from a trailer ages ago, where he's like upside down, falling through the New York skyline. Yeah, and I remember seeing that trailer and thinking, this looks intriguing, but I still don't, quite know what this is about. And then finally seeing that scene in motion, like, he's like, it's a really cool visual metaphor as well. Like, he's like jumps off, and it's like they say, because it's it's a line of you don't know when you're ready. It's a leap of faith, and he finally takes that leap, and he's falling and falling and falling, and just before he hits the ground, the webs reach the top and he bounces back. And it's just you know what I mean? It's like a huge metaphor for what's happened in the film leading up to this.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so cool.
Once I started like hooking onto this whole expectations thing, like, I just noticed so many other things.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, when he takes his uncle to the alleyway whilst he's dying, his uncle says to him, I wanted you to look up to me, which is like, kind of, it's not really Miles'
expectations.
Like what he has to live up to, but it's what the uncle has to live up to as an uncle. And that's, I don't know, I feel like that thing,
it's like another thing that's trying to tell him or think that this is what he should be or how he should act.
Yeah. Also, I mean, if you're if you want to go deep into this expectations thing, when he throws his book out of the window in his room, I'm pretty sure that is his notebook.
Where he first sketched out the expectation design.
Yeah, it had expectations on it or whatever, and he throws it out the window. and it gets thrown back at him. His expectations are getting thrown back at him. Oh, and then the Spider Gang comes and it's like.
See, I interpreted that as like. It's in the school and like, you know, where he first did the design. So like it's the expectations of the school, and then he throws it out because he's sick of that, and then the Spider-Men throw it back in, and it's I felt like it was kind of a setup for like, you know, the Spider-Man's expectations also, you know, messing up with him.
Yeah.
Like him thinking it was going to free him, but it just, you know, comes back and smacks him in the face.
Yeah, that's true.
I think there's a lot, like, I don't think either of us are, you know, there's a bunch of ways to interpret a bunch of stuff in this film. And I think that's the beauty of it. Like, I think Nicolas Cage was in an interview and he said, like, one of the things that really, even though he's only a minor role in this, like...
I do. He's probably my favourite
you got very excited when he came on, didn't you?
Yeah.
He plays for anyone who doesn't know, he plays Spider-Man Noir, who is a 1930s... or 1940s, whatever it is, private detective who has Spider-Man's powers, and he's like hunting down Nazis and stuff, but his comics are all in black and white, so when he goes to the regular universe and it's coloured, he can't see any of it, so he gets fascinated with like a Rubik's Cube.
Yeah, he has some really good just one-liners. Like, I'll write one down. It's like he says, "Sometimes I'll let matches burn down to my fingertips just to feel something."
Anything at all.
Yeah,
I love. There's like a bit where they're all kind of. It's the expectations thing. They're all like harassing Miles, saying, "Okay, you think you're ready? Can you do this? Can you fight off this many guys with this? Can you do this? Can you do this?" And it's that thing again of them saying, "Get up, Miles! Come on, get up!" Every time they knock him down. Which obviously plays into the theme, but there's a really cool funny line where like they're all saying like practical things like, you know, can you fight, can you rewire a mainframe and blah blah blah, you know, can you get back up every time, and he just says something about like, can you deal with the moral ambiguity of your actions.
Yeah, but wasn't that Spider... Was that Peter B. Parker that said that one?
No, that's Spider-Man Noir.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, it's a funny Nicolas Cage line. But yeah, no, that's what so like, yeah, what I was saying, like, it's really cool that you can just, if you want to, like, this film is very versatile. Like, I know it's very versatile because, like, you can just sit back and enjoy it as a comic book flick and just, like, you know, if you're just in the mood for a comic book flick or a superhero film just to have fun with and like feel good, you can, if you have kids, you can watch it with kids. It's something for you to both enjoy, and just, you know, you can just, they'll just love it, and like, you know, there's a cool message in there for them. But then also there's a lot of small details, like not just visual stuff that's really cool, but there's a bunch of small things that they put in there that can be interpreted, and like a bunch of different themes that are just like, I mean, we aren't even hitting all of them, you know what I mean? Like, there's so many video essays on this that I highly recommend people check out. That all say completely different things. Like, I saw the other day there was a 10-minute video on just the character of the Prowler and what he means to the story.
Oh yeah,
and like,
I love the Prowler's music. Holy shit!
Oh yeah, the really cool like eerie sound that he has.
It's like an alarm.
Yeah,
it sounds like the Star Wars like docking, like, I can't do it, but
I know what you mean. It sounds like when like ship's docking with it. It's like,
but it's so loud, and
it's really cool.
It not gonna lie, it kind of scares me. Maybe that's the effect it's going for there.
All of the music in this and all of the audio and how it intertwines is really well done and just really cool. It's just a blast, man. It's an absolute blast.
Yeah. Another Nicolas Cage line, by the way, is,
"Oh, go on.
You hard-boiled turtle slapper." Whatever.
I guess we should talk about. No, you know what? We'll do that in a minute. Let's just finish talking off about this expectations thing because it's really cool. Did you notice? Is there any way that it plays into the main villain?
The main villain,
like the way, because obviously it plays into the Prowler, as you said. I have an idea on this, so you don't. If you don't know, that's fine. But like, how do you think? Do you have an interpretation of how it plays into Wilson Fisk?
I mean, my interpretation of Wilson Fisk is
Boxman.
Blair Box. Is that he just hasn't he hasn't changed, and that's for the worst. Whereas Miles has changed and adapted, and that's for the best, because in one of the kind of the final fight scene climax of the movie, he
really visually cool scene.
Yeah, this
particle accelerator,
interdimensional
warping thing is going off.
Because the whole point of it is Wilson Fisk wants to get his daughter and wife.
Oh no, that's not his daughter. No, it's not his daughter.
Oh, is it not?
So that's Vanessa. You've seen Daredevil, right?
Yeah, but
that's Vanessa. You know, the woman that he loves.
Oh yeah. So it might as well be his daughter.
Well, no.
Why not?
Because he's fucking her.
What?
They have a kid together. That's who the boy is.
Oh, I thought it was a girl. No, I said daughter and wife. I said daughter and wife. So
okay. Well, that's less creepy. No, it was a boy. Yeah. Basically, he lost his. No, sorry. They found out. They thought he was just an upstanding member of society, and they found out that he beats up Spider-Man in his spare time. So they left in a hurry because, they're shocked. And they get hit by a car and both of them die. So he's using this dimension-bending machine to try and bring them in from another universe so he can have them back.
Yeah. And this is the Spider-Man that died at the start of the movie, sorry. That they originally saw him beating up. Yeah, and then it comes to the end of the movie. They're going through dimensions, and they must see like a glimmer or like a shadow, a glimpse into this dimension, and they see him
beating up Miles,
basically in the same position, beating up Spider-Man, and he hasn't changed, and that is his downfall, because
that's really interesting.
They don't want to.
Could you say that means that is that trying to say that no matter. It's his flaw, no matter what the universe, no matter what he tries to manipulate and change, his true colours will always come out?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah, he hasn't changed.
My interpretation of it's kind of similar to... I always interpreted it as, again, following on with the expectations thing, that for me it's that they expect him to act a certain way in terms of, an upstanding member of society.
Yeah.
And when those expectations aren't met and broken and... they find out what he really is. That's what leads to their death, and so that's another way it plays into expectation. And another thing is that he just expects that, getting them from another universe and just bringing them in. It's a thing of the Spider-Men who come in, and women who come in from different universes, their particles don't belong in that universe. So the idea is that they have to go home, otherwise they'll die eventually.
Yeah.
And I think that's a really cool idea of he just expects that they'll do whatever, they'll love him either way because, he's bringing them in and whatever. Even though it's literally going to kill them, he just doesn't, his expectation is just that they will just, they'll accept it, whatever, because they get to be with him. He thinks he's so great. And it's kind of this, he gets, beaten down and, his true
being
colours...
selfish.
Yeah, he's being a selfish little bitch.
Little bitch,
selfish,
box man.
Selfish big bitch. Big box man.
He's so big and boxy.
So, I realised that we didn't really talk a lot about the Spider-Men of Spider-Verse.
Yeah, gang.
The gang. So we're gonna finish this. This has been very rambly, but I don't know about you. I've had a very long week, so I apologise if this isn't structured that great. But also, it's talking shit. What do you want? It's called talking shit.
Come on, guys.
It's called talking shit. What did you expect? A fucking formal essay. So what I think might be fun to end this and might fill in those gaps of our opinions on the different Spider people. Let's play a little game of what I like to call ranking those Spider people.
Ooh.
I don't know why I chose the Brooklyn Nine-Nine theme music, but I did. So, here's our Spider-Men in the running. We have Miles Morales, Peter Parker, Peter B. Parker, Spider-Gwen, Spider-Man Noir, Penny Parker, and Peter Porker, right?
Yeah.
That's all of them,
Or
yeah?
Spider-Ham.
Spider-Ham, yeah.
But
if you will. So that's all. So we have 7 Spider-Men in this film. Yeah, 7, that's right, yeah. So it's ranking time.
I don't like Anime Girl.
Yeah, I think she's there. Should we do it as one? Should we both? Yeah, let's put it together as one. So bottom is definitely Anime Girl. Nothing against, it's a cool little addition.
It's fine, but I just have a problem that the way they explain her, like she's telepathically linked with a spider.
Yeah.
But it's supposedly one of these special spiders, but she's also just in a suit. Like, why does she need this spider to control the suit?
It's a weird
she might as well just be Iron Man.
Yeah, that is a good point.
Like, what makes her Spider-Man?
Yeah, but again, she's not a
weeb.
Spider Weeb is a great name. Again, she's not a main character though, so it really doesn't
Yeah,
she's a side character at the very end.
There's Peter Porker, Noir, and Anime Girl who are kind of side, like they're lesser.
There's another Spider-Man in this film. Oh wait, there's 2 more Spider-Man in this film. Yeah, Spider-Man, whatever the future one's called, like Spider-Man 2035 or some shit like that. Really? And you don't want to put in 1960s cartoon Spider-Man pointing at each other?
They get the
honorable
they get
mentions.
to be on this list. This fabled list.
This legendary list. This is gonna replace the Declaration of Independence one day. Our listing of the Spider People. Let's have alright. They're honorable mentions. So quick shout out.
Right, yeah.
If for some reason you've seen this film and not seen the end credit scene, it is legitimately the funniest end credit scene of all time in any superhero film.
It's still funny.
If you haven't seen it, we're not going to spoil it here. But seriously, watch it. And to those people who have seen it, memes. Am I right?
Am I right?
Memes. So honorable mentions the 2 Spider-Men at the end. Penny Parker, number 7. Who's number 6?
I would say Porker.
No.
Yeah, man.
Really?
I know it's
John
funny.
Mulaney.
He's a pig, man.
He's bitten by a radioactive pig.
See, I don't want to put the original Peter Parker in like too high up because he doesn't.
But he's a good guy. He's
yeah, and he's
dead, but he's a good guy.
Yeah, but I'll put Peter Parker there.
Fine, we'll put him in. I guess next we'd say original Spider-Man Peter Parker.
Yeah.
Voiced by sexy man Chris Pine.
Chriso.
I mean, he's the least sexy of all the Chris's, but when I'm saying that, he's the least sexy. He's not, the most unattractive. He's the least sexy. He's still a sexy boy.
Yeah.
I'm glad that's going to be on my gravestone. So, yeah. So, number 7, Penny Parker. Number 6, Peter Porker. Number 5, original Peter Parker. I would say next would be
Gwen.
No,
actually,
Noir. Come on, man.
Yeah, I forgot about it.
Spider Gwen's awesome.
The
She's
lines
really
are cool. The lines are cool, but
the lines are funny. Yeah, exactly. Next is definitely Spider Gwen. She is.
Yeah.
She's really cool. I like her. Who voices her? She's really cool. Spider Gwen. I'm googling it. What's her name? Fucking goddamn it! Oh, Google, you're not helping me. Who plays Spider-Gwen?
I looked this up earlier. She was in
Dove Cameron? No, it's not you. Haley Steinfeld. That's it. I love Haley Steinfeld. She's really cool. She's in Bumblebee.
Niall Horan from One Direction. I remember.
She did what?
Yeah, don't know.
Which one did she date?
The Irish one that is blonde.
Oh no.
Yeah. Anyway.
She's cool. She's a really cool actress.
Yes.
She's been in some great stuff. Yeah, she voices Spider-Gwen. I find her backstory really interesting. It's a really cool kind of, different... it's like Miles's, a different take on Spider-Man Origins. She's really cool. And I'm glad at the end that her and Miles are just friends and there's no romance there because it's more realistic. It doesn't feel as cheesy. And it just works really cool. Mm-hmm. So I guess now it's down to the last 2. This is difficult for me because I love Jake Johnson, who voices Peter B. Parker. He's a very funny guy. His lines are really funny. Like, I love when, his backstory when they're going through it, and he's like, me and MJ got a divorce. He's like, handled it like a champ, but he's just crying in the shower.
Yeah.
He's got some really funny lines, and like, I love that when they're infiltrating the facility, and he like, Miles is just taking the whole PC because he can't get through all the desktop icons to find the information he needs, and he's like, "Good news, we don't need the monitor." And he just chucks it out. Like, it's
that's good.
But I feel like he does have to be second because, I mean,
the main character, man.
Yeah, he kind of has to be,
I'm going to say Peter B. Parker is number one, actually.
You know what? I'm with you. Peter Parker. He's so cool.
Like, he's not the main character. He doesn't help, but, he helps. He helps.
I just
Miles
enjoy...
so much, and it's nice, and he's...
Don't get me wrong, Miles Morales is, he's the main character, and he's really awesome, but... And, like, he's still second. There's 7 Spider people. We put him, you know what I mean? But... I think Peter B. Parker is just really funny. I just find all his lines, the performance is really good. But yeah, let's also talk about Miles. Miles is great. The actor, what is his name? Help! I'm just not prepared, am I?
Oh.
Who plays Miles? Someone help. Shameik Moore. What has he been in other things? He's been in other things, I just haven't seen them. Shameik Moore is really, really good as Miles. Like, the performance is really charming. You really get the sense that he's this really kind of innocent kid. He never gets annoying. He goes through a great arc that is just, but I think, I'm putting Peter B. Parker first with you because he's really cool. So, the official list of Spider people who are cool that will eventually replace the Declaration of Independence. Honorable mentions, the 2 Spider-Men at the end. Number 7, Penny Parker. Number 6, Peter Porker, Spider-Ham. Number 5, that's how counting works. Original Spider-Man, Peter Parker. Number 4, Spider-Man Noir. Number 3, Spider-Gwen. Number 2, Miles Morales, and number 1, Peter B. Parker, you chubby, chunky boy. Do you think that's... Maybe him and Wilson Fisk could have been friends in another world? Because, like, when someone's let themselves go just a little bit, they need to have a really fat friend so they don't look as bad.
Yeah.
It's like, that's why I need a friend who's smaller than me, because then, like, if I can be the middle guy, I'm okay with that. Because my friends, like, you and Brad are, like, 6 foot whatever.
2. Or 3.
One of you's one of those, and the other's the other.
Brad says 6'3", but I don't believe him.
Oh, we should definitely test that next time, whenever he's back.
And I think we are the same height.
Well, yeah. So, anyway, that has been our ramblings on Spider-Verse. I'm sorry if this week... seemed a little bit disjointed, but we are very tired.
A little bit bruh.
We are a little bit bruh, but do watch this film if you haven't seen it. It's great. It is great. Anything else you want to say? It sounds like a door slowly opening.
I don't know. We'll just wrap it up here. I thought there was multiple things I wanted to say, but the only thing that I said is the spider that bites Miles is glitched.
Yes,
like it glitches out. So where the hell is that from? And this doesn't necessarily have to go in, but I'm just genuinely just.
I actually don't know. I think that's just an effect.
It glitches like how the rest of I don't know.
I think that is just an effect, to be honest.
Right. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh.
Yes.
Okay. You can include this bit in.
Oh, okay.
In a sec. One last
seamless
thing.
Transition.
Oh, yes. One last thing that I would like to say is,
yes.
I think the movie as a whole it moves very well, and it's fast but not too fast. And one sequence where I thought about this is when on his first day at school.
Yes.
Where he goes through all the classes.
Oh yeah.
But like, you could imagine the sequence where he's he's I don't know, he's in his classes and they just spend too much time, but it kind of just they go through all of his classes and what's going on in the school.
Could you
in like 10 seconds?
Could you imagine taking too much time to come up with something like that'd be? Imagine just taking a ton of time thinking that you had something interesting to say about Spider-Verse at the end, but in the end it turned out it was shit.
Imagine. I don't think that's ever happened.
I don't think it has ever happened.
No.
This is gonna be really fun to edit later. Like this is the worst outro we've ever done in our lives.
You'll just have to like cut that chunk of time where I was.
Well,
I think we can end. I think we can end here.
You just know, like goodbye. All right. Oh, fucking hell. All right. Thank you, people, for listening. You can listen to the rest of this show on Spotify, which, you know, is probably where you're listening to this now.
The rest of the show.
Well, not the rest of this. The show is called Talking Shit. It's a show.
It's Talking Shit. It's a show.
It's a
where
show.
We talk shit.
We talk shit. It's a show. So
I'm
yes,
Joe.
Yes.
You're Dan.
Yes, but what I'm saying
we've
is,
been talking about Spider-Verse.
You can
Thank
see
you
the
for
rest
listening,
of the
everybody.
show somewhere else, and by somewhere else I mean you can listen to the rest of it here, and by the rest of it I mean other episodes. God, get off my back, Dad. You can also listen to this show on YouTube at that's my channel name, at Let's Talk About Some Shit. You can try Googling it. Why would you Google YouTube? You can try searching for it. You probably won't find it because we have 6 subscribers. Woo! But there's some cool stuff on there, mainly these podcasts, but there's some other little tidbits on there that you could check out.
Dan did an Umbrella Academy
are we just going to
talk video.
I did. Are we going to talk about that every week?
Yep.
I did a recent video where I did a little highlight video from episode 2, which is kind of, it's 7 minutes or so of just funny moments put to some amusing imagery. And a bunch of bots commented on it, saying like to message them for a good sexy time.
Message me for a sexy time, Dan.
Wait, how do they know my name? Oh wait, I say it in the video.
No, I'm just requesting you.
Okay, well, I know what I'm going to be doing tonight. All right, I've been Dan.
That's me.
What's your name, bitch? People don't have memories. We have to establish this.
Joe.
You are Joe.
Thank
yes,
you,
I know
guys.
we both said this at the top of the video, but people have no memory. That's why we have to say it every week at the start and at the end.
Yes.
It's a rule of talking shit. It's been established. If anybody tries to say this isn't the best show in the world, they'd be right. But
I will launch through your front window and choke you.
Alright, bye guys!
Bye.
Leave a bad review if you want Joe to choke you. Bye!
Yay.